Lucy was about to tell me what Liam's parents' secret was when something stopped her in her tracks. I turned to look and saw that Liam's parents were standing right behind me. Suddenly, they ran at Lucy and put a sack over her head. I watched as Liam's dad whacked Lucy on the head and she fell to the floor unconscious. Then his parents started walking towards me. I started slowly backing away. Suddenly, I felt someone standing behind me. I turned around. It was Liam. Oh, thank goodness. Liam, you won't believe what is going on here. I told Liam everything that had happened, all about how Lucy was really a spy and how she had faked her own death and framed him for it. She was the one that put cameras in the bedrooms. She blackmailed your parents into telling her their secrets, and then she gave them the footage to prove you were innocent. Liam stood there listening to everything I said without saying a word. You have to call the police. You have to tell them everything that has happened. Liam hesitated for a minute.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
But why not? You will not believe what happened next. Instead of answering me, Liam lifted up a sack and put it over my head. I started to panic. My heart was beating so fast I thought I was going to die. Suddenly, I felt a hard thud on the side of my temple. The next thing I knew, everything went black. I opened my eyes and looked around me. My head felt fuzzy and it was hard to focus my eyes. As my vision cleared, I realized that I was in the basement of Liam's house. Then I saw that Liam and his parents were standing there watching me. You have to help me. You can't keep me tied up in here. They just stood there staring at me in silence. I looked to my right and saw that Lucy was also in the basement. She was awake too.
I know you've been smuggling illegal goods. Don't think you're going to get away with it.
And what are you going to do about it?
So you admit it then?
Yes, okay, we admit it.
You're going to go to prison for a long time.
I don't think so.
Once the police find out...
But they're not going to find out, are they? The only people that know what we are doing are you two, and you'll both be too dead to tell anybody about it.
I was absolutely petrified. I couldn't believe the situation I was in. Liam, please, you have to help me. I'm begging you.
Be quiet. Don't say another word, okay?
I did as Liam's dad told me. Well, I wasn't going to argue with him, especially as he was now holding a huge knife. He started walking towards Lucy, brandishing the knife at her. Then I noticed that Liam also had a knife in his hand, and he was walking towards me.
Help!
Lucy and I both screamed out at the same time. Liam lifted the knife and swung it towards me. I closed my eyes and waited for the pain that was about to hit me. But instead, I felt the ropes that were behind me begin to loosen. Liam had cut the ropes.
Come on, quick, let's get out of here.
I was so happy. I knew that Liam wasn't a bad guy. As soon as Liam had finished setting me free, he ran at his parents and knocked them out of the way. Then he got the ropes off from Lucy too. The three of us ran up the basement stairs and out into the garden. Liam's parents were hot on our tail. Suddenly, I heard Lucy scream.
Ah!
Liam's dad had caught hold of Lucy and was holding the knife to her throat.
Liam, quick, grab Marley and come back here.
No, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that.
Stop messing around, Liam. I need your help here.
No, Dad, I'm not going to help you anymore. I never wanted this life of crime. I didn't have a choice. I was born into it.
You can't get out of it now. You know too much.
I don't want to live like this anymore. I want out.
You won't be able to do anything else. This is all you know.
You're wrong, Dad. There are plenty of things I can do. Things that are honest and legal.
Honest and legal doesn't give you the kind of money you can earn from our business.
Money isn't everything, Dad. Being a good person is more important to me than money.
I had never felt any happier than I did at this moment. To hear Liam telling his parents that he wanted nothing more to do with that life was music to my ears. I was wondering what Liam's dad would do next when all of a sudden, Lucy knocked the knife out of his hand. She did a flying backflip and simultaneously knocked Liam's mom and then his dad to the floor. I couldn't believe the skills that she had. They both lay on the ground, moaning in pain. What should we do? Should we tie them up? But we had no need to worry, because 2 seconds later, the sound of sirens came screaming through the air. 2 police cars pulled into the driveway, and the next thing I knew, Liam's parents were in handcuffs.
Good work, miss. We will take care of these two now.
I looked at Liam in confusion. How did the police know to come?
I called them from the basement. I couldn't trust my parents not to harm you and Lucy, so I called them and told them to come here quickly.
You really did that for me? You turned your own parents in?
I've had enough of the life of crime. I want to lead a life I can be proud of.
I looked at Liam and my heart filled with pride. He had risked everything for me. His parents would probably never speak to him again. After Liam's parents were sentenced and sent to prison, our lives went back to normal. His parents had left their mansion to Liam, but he didn't want anything to do with it.
I can't live here anymore. It has too many memories of the life I used to lead. I've decided I'm going to sell it and buy a smaller place. Then, the money that's left over, I'll donate to charity. I know that won't make up for all the bad things my parents have done, but it might compensate slightly.
I think that is a very good idea. Once the mansion sold, Liam and I found a cozy little cottage and moved in together. I was really happy. I had a loving boyfriend and a beautiful little home. What more could a girl want? I still kept in touch with Lucy. Actually, we became really great friends. At one point, she even asked me if I would like to work with her and become a spy. I just laughed. No, thank you. I think I've had enough adventure to last me a lifetime. So that's it. That's my story. Now,
Marley, come here. You've got to see this.
huh? I could tell by Liam's tone of voice that something serious was going on. I ran into the room and saw that he was watching something on the TV. On the screen was a photo of Liam's parents.
If anyone sees the escaped convicts, please call the police immediately. The public are warned not to approach the couple, as they are deemed to be highly dangerous.
I looked at Liam in horror. How could this have happened? How could they have escaped from prison?
We have to leave right now.
Liam held out his hand to me. I took hold of it and we ran to the front door. But when we opened the door, standing there was this huge man. I had no idea who he was. I'd never seen him before in my life. Suddenly, he lunged at Liam and put his arm around his neck. I started kicking and punching him, but I was no match for such a huge guy. He swung his fist, hit me clean on the nose, and knocked me out cold. I don't know how long I was unconscious for, but when I woke up, Liam was nowhere to be seen. I grabbed my phone and called Lucy. Lucy, thank God! You have to help me.
What's the matter?
Liam's parents have escaped from prison. We were about to leave, but this man came. He knocked me out. I've just woken up and Liam is missing.
Okay, don't stay there a minute longer. Come straight to the headquarters of my spy organization. I'll be waiting at the entrance for you.
When I walked into the building, Lucy came rushing over to me.
Are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
No, I'm fine. I'm just worried about Liam.
Don't worry about Liam. We will find him.
Thank you.
But I'm going to need your help.
Of course, I'll do anything.
I was hoping you would say that, because we will need 100% commitment from you. We are going to train you to become a spy.
The color drained from my face. I wasn't sure if I was ready to become a spy. Isn't it dangerous?
Not once you have the skills, it isn't.
I spent the next 2 weeks doing intensive training. I learned all the skills needed to become one of the top spies in the world. I learned about tracking people, self-defense, and everything else that went with the job. Every day was spent either in the classroom or in the gym until eventually I was ready to start work. At the end of the training, I was exhausted, but I felt confident that I could be a good spy. I was sitting in my room when Lucy came bursting in.
Marley, we have a lead.
Are you serious? Where? What?
One of our spies in Mexico thinks he spotted Liam.
Mexico? What's he doing in Mexico?
I don't know, but we're going to find out. Pack some things in a bag. We have a plane waiting to take us there.
My heart started beating so fast at the thought of what was about to happen. I grabbed a few things and then Lucy and I set off to the airport. When we landed in Mexico, the spy that had seen Liam met us at the airport.
This is his location. Be careful. I have no idea if he is alone or with other people. I'm sorry I can't give you any more information.
It's okay. We are just grateful for what you have done.
The address is only about half an hour from here. You'll be okay getting there by yourselves?
Yes, we'll be fine. Lucy and I jumped in a taxi and headed off to the address the spy had given us. Lucy asked the driver to stop a few houses down from where Liam was staying. If he was being held against his will, we didn't want his captors to know we were there. We crept up towards the house and peered through the window. What?
What is it?
It's Liam. He's in there and he's with his parents.
Come on, let's go around the back and see if we can get into the house.
I followed Lucy around the back of the house. We found a window that was open and climbed through it. We crept through the hallway and stood listening outside the door of the room Liam and his parents were in.
So, everyone knows what their job is, right?
Yes, Dad, don't worry. We've done this kind of job so many times. Nothing will go wrong.
I couldn't believe my ears. Is Liam working with his parents again? But what I heard next was even more shocking.
I can't believe that Marley fell for it.
I know, I thought I would have a hard time convincing her that I had turned over a new leaf, but she fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Ha ha, I knew it would all go to plan.
My heart sank. I was distraught. So all along, Liam was lying to me. He tricked me into believing that he was a good guy, that he had changed. Then my sadness turned to rage. I was so angry with him for fooling me. Without thinking, I burst into the room. "You are such a jerk!" Lucy tried to stop me, but it was too late. Liam looked at me in shock, not saying anything, whilst his dad shouted for his guards.
We need help in here, now!
The room filled with the family's guards. Lucy looked at me and nodded. I knew what I had to do. We had practiced this scenario over and over. I began kicking and punching at one guard after another. Lucy was doing the same from the opposite side of the room. It wasn't long before each and every one of them were knocked out cold. Lucy grabbed hold of some rope and threw one to me.
You tie up Liam's mom. I'll get his dad.
His parents didn't even try to struggle. I think they knew that it would be useless.
Good work, Marley.
I turned to look at Liam. I had no idea why he would be so happy that we had defeated the guards and tied up his parents.
You know I was only saying that to fool my parents, don't you? I was just trying to buy some more time before I could escape and come back to you.
I was so confused. I didn't know whether to believe him or not. I don't know what it was, but something told me that I should stay on the side of caution. I'm sorry, Liam. I love you. I truly do. But I can't go out with you anymore.
But why? I'm telling you the truth. I'm done with this life of crime.
I'm sorry, but I would always be wondering if you were being honest with me or not. And I also don't think I can forget what you have done in the past. You have too much baggage.
You don't mean that, Marley. We're good together.
Yes, we were once, but that was before I knew who you really were. Liam's parents were taken back to prison and put into a highly secure wing. I didn't see Liam again. I was too busy with my new job as one of the top spies in the world. I'm sad things didn't work out with us, but I don't want to have to deal with his criminal ties and complex past. Now I'm just enjoying spending my time at the spy organization with Lucy, and we've become the best spy partners the world has ever seen. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you've all been able to hear my story.